off camera? You just want to say it? Okay. We'll wait just another minute or so. How was your trip in? Good?
Very, very easy. We flew in last night.
All right, we're ready to continue with the University of Oregon. We're joined by head coach Dana Altman. Coach, welcome to Kansas City and the NCAA Midwest Regional. Your thoughts coming into tomorrow's game?
It's great to still be playing. The guys have looked forward to this, and hopefully we will play well. We're going to need to play well defensively. Michigan is a very talented offensive team. Their defense has really picked up here in their 7-game winning streak. So we know that we're facing a very hot team, a team that is playing extremely well at this time, and it's going to take a great effort on our guys' part.
All right, thank you, Coach. Let's go to questions. Again, you know the drill, state name and affiliation. And Coach, first question up front on your left.
Neil Best from Newsday. John Beeline was talking about how because you guys are close to each other alphabetically, you often sat together at Final Fours. What's your impression of him, both as a person and as a coach, being around him all those years?
Well, we have sat watching a number of Final Fours together, and but I've got great respect. We have played twice. We played in 2005 in the tournament in Cleveland, NCAA tournament in Cleveland. I was at Creighton, he was at West Virginia, and they beat us by 2 at the buzzer, which kind of hurt. And we played them a few years ago in New York, Oregon versus Michigan, and we lost a close game there. So got a lot of respect for him as a coach, as a person. I think he's someone that really does a great job with his team year in, year out, the consistency that he shows with his programs. So I've enjoyed sitting with him, watching Final Four games, and you know, he's someone that I have a great deal of respect for.
Coach, we'll go to the far right now.
Hey, Dana. Eric Olson with the AP. Following up kind of what I was asking you about earlier with regard to you kind of being back in your part of the country. You know, obviously you've had a lot of success at Oregon and been there for some time now. Going to the West Coast after coaching in this part of the country as long as you did, I guess, how much of an adjustment was that for you?
It was a little bit of an adjustment first couple of years. First 8 or 9 months, my wife and daughter weren't there, so it was a lot tougher. But it's been really good. I've been very fortunate. You know, Moberly, just a couple hours from here in Kansas State, Creighton, and now Oregon. I've worked at great schools that are very serious about having good basketball programs. I've worked with ADs that have been very supportive, especially at Creighton and now at Oregon. And so, you know, I've been really, really fortunate. But it's always nice to come back, and you know, it was a long time ago. Fairbury Junior College and Moberly and K-State and Creighton are all within 2 or 3 hours of here. So did spend a lot of time early in my coaching career, but the last 7 years with Oregon have been special also. You know, like I said, I've been very fortunate. It was a little bit of an adjustment early, but now with the great support that we're receiving, you know, we hope to continue to build and have a consistent basketball program, one that challenges year in and year out for the Pac-12 and has a chance to play in the tournament.
We'll move to Coach's right, toward the back.
Coach, with that being said, do you kind of keep any ties with K-State at all? And does your time in Kansas City kind of remind you of your time with the Big Eight here?
Yeah, it was the Big Eight back then. That's when you know you're getting old, when they change the name of the conference. And but no, I do. There's been a number of very close friends that I had at K-State. I was there for 7 years. So yeah, I stay in touch with a number of them, and a number of them will be at the ball game tomorrow. So no, I was the 7 years we spent at K-State, really enjoyed and really have some very close friends that I've kept in contact with for, I guess, 20, 23, 24 years now.
Okay, we'll come back to this left side, extreme outside toward the front.
What's the key to Michigan's very low turnover rate, and what can you do to, get that up tomorrow?
They've got very skilled players, passing, catching, shooting the ball, their ability to put the ball on the floor. John always has recruited very skilled basketball players, and that's really obvious with this team. It doesn't matter if it's the 7-footer or the 6'10" guy, they're all capable of putting it down and bringing it down the court. And passing and catching is such an underrated skill, but they do a great job. And so their low turnover rate, I'm sure, is an emphasis of the coaching staff, but you still have to have really good players, and their skill level enables them to handle the ball and do the things they do offensively. Their principles, their concepts offensively are all geared to having 4 or 5 guys that can shoot it on the floor and keeping the floor spread. So John recruits to that style. He's always done a tremendous job with it, and because they are also very highly skilled, it does cut down on turnovers.
In the back.
Rob Mosley from Go Ducks, kind of parlaying off that, if transition opportunities are limited because they're taking care of it, how do you feel about the way you've been executing in the half court? How somebody like Peyton, Casey, how are those guys running the offense in the half court right now the last couple weeks?
Well, offensively, we've played okay. Our transition has been great. Our numbers have been off the chart. But, in the half court, with the exception of the last 8 minutes of the first half against Rhode Island, our ball movement, our things were pretty good. But, we had a terrible 8-minute stretch there that defensively, and part of the problem defensively is we turned the ball over so darn much and gave them layups. So we've got to do a better job. Our guys know that. We've got to be sharper with our execution. We've got to make teams guard a little bit longer. We had some quick possessions, some bad possessions that we won't be able to get away with against Michigan. So we're going to have to play a lot better and play a lot smarter.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll stay here on the left toward the middle.
Bria Maranthus, CSNNW. Jordan and Casey just said that they were kind of rooting for Michigan with everything they've been through up until this point, of course. Were you also rooting for Michigan?
Oh, I don't have time to root for anybody. It is, a unique story. Obviously, having something like that happen really puts everything in perspective of what's important. And sometimes we get so tied up in the season, that we really believe that winning and losing is the most important thing, and you do lose perspective. So I'm sure that really brought them together. But I don't think I cheered for them. I do think it's a great story, though, and how Coach Beilein says they bonded together, and it's really made them much closer. That is a unique story.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Okay, Coach, thank you. Good luck tomorrow. Good to see you. about 7 minutes away from the next session.